Hi everyone, I hope you're good. Today I would like to talk to you about the last year, what happened. I really want to dedicate that challenge with art and my experience about it, but also like my journey as I'm developing art, drawing, painting. And I want to do that for the next few years, so I want to share it with you. Um, and the last year, I paint and draw almost every day. I didn't start the beginning of the year like that, but it was really interesting, and I want to share that with you. And in the videos and in that channel, that's what I will share, like my discovery, my learning curve. What else? Everything that happened, the challenge I face, the victory I have, the goal, my new goal, my next goal, everything about it. And also, like, I want to share a goal I have right now. It's like eventually go to Italy and have art class. So that's one of my goals. And a second goal is sharing my art and selling them. Let's see when it happened, but yeah, that's one of my goals. Um, and the short-term goals is like to really developing my skills and getting better and better and better and better. So first, I want to share my story about art and everything and how it happened. Um, so last year, um, I'm thinking maybe like February last year, I started to drawing and painting a little bit, but not that much. But it's really last November. I was traveling. I went back to Canada, and after I came back to Mexico, and I started to really draw and paint. I draw a little bit during the summer, but really not. I was like, it was hard to draw. And so, yeah, when I came back to Mexico, because I'm in Mexico right now, I'm a digital nomad. You can see in the live section some tip and trick on digital nomadism if you want. So, anyway, so I started to drawing again, and my skills was not really fun. It was not fun for me. I was doing exercise of drawing and coloring with markers to understand the shadow and the light and being able to develop my eyes. And what was really hard for me, it was the drawing. So it was really annoying. I wanted, like, for example, draw a fox, and it took me 1 hour to draw that fox. And after like an hour, I was like, okay, I'm ready for color. And I'm like, I was too tired to do the color. And drawing was not the fun part for me. Doing the color and doing the shadow and everything was the fun part. I wanted to develop that skills, not drawing. and and I had a breakthrough where I did a puppy. It's on my short. I did a puppy with pastel, and it was with blue, and it was stunning, and I was like, oh my god, I get it with the shadow and everything, and the color and how to um, use the light and everything and make it 3D. And I was like, yeah, I had my breakthrough, and it was amazing. And I was like, I want to do it more. I want to do it more. So I think it's happened in January. So November to January, I was drawing, doing markers, but I was like annoyed by it. And in January, I did that puppy, and I was like, oh my god. And I was like, I want to do it more. I want to do it more. But I had that challenge that it was like, I can't do more because I can't draw. So I, how to say, like, do that with my sleeve, and I was like, let's do it. So I started to draw more because I'm like, okay, if I want to do what I love to do, I need to draw. So I started to draw more and more and more, And maybe January until March, I draw. I think I did one of my first painting. And also, I have my mentor that he was like, oh, like doing a portrait is like making a leaf. And I was like, doing a portrait is like making a leaf? So it's easy. Well, a painting portrait. I don't remember when. I need to note more the date of what I do, so it will be easier in that challenge and in that channel. So I start to paint a portrait, my first portrait, and it was not like a leaf. It was really not. It was so hard, and she was so ugly. And now I'm really comfortable with the word ugly, because when you start something, it's really not what you think. It's the first draft, so of course it won't be nice, but more you put layer and more you make effort and time, it's getting more and more beautiful. It's like you open something, like you remove stuff, or you fine tuning stuff and getting better and better. So I'm really comfortable with that word. So she was really, and you have to be okay with that, because first you're like, ooh, what is this? But more you persevere, more it's getting better. So that's a nice lesson. So I started to do that portrait, and it was so hard. And I remember I was doing that portrait, and also I had brown, acrylic brown, and I like throw it on, it fall on me and the floor, and I had that beautiful orange dress. It was a mess. That was really sad, and I didn't clean it first. So anyway, so yeah, and it was stressful, and I was tense, and I was like, oh my god, it's hard. And after and I had some tea tip, and after I just like, okay, you know what, I will focus on portrait. So I start to draw portrait more, 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 more. And we're laughing now because my mentor, his name is Guillermo Gil Gonzalez, and he was like, yeah, I said it was easy like a leaf, but it's not easy. So I was like, oh my god, but I'm so happy I start my first painting with a leaf, because not a leaf with a portrait, because now I'm not scared about doing that, and I want to be better at it. And it was so, when I do an example, I'm painting an apple, it's like, it's not a big deal, it's more easy because I start with the hardest, and I still have to develop my skill, but it's really interesting. So and after, so yeah, so the first challenge I faced, it was my drawing, that I was not able to draw correct, and I started to draw more. And how I fix that is I make myself in a challenge to draw every day, and I think I started that the in March or April. Every day I draw something, and I find a list of idea. I will find it and put it on the description, a list of thing to draw every day. So I was picking something and just draw it, and my level of my skills in that increased so amazingly. It was amazing. So I think I did that March to June, and also like March to June I did only that. I did other stuff, but it was really my main focus, and I get better, and I was like, oh my god. And June, July, August, September, I keep doing the challenge. And also I start to do a to-do list too, a to-do list of stuff I want to do every day about art. I will share it with you. And it really helped me. So, and more the time passed, more it was increasing the thing I want to do. So in May, June, I started to do watercolor, and I want to develop that skill. So I was like, okay, I will do one drawing per day, and I will do one watercolor per day, because I during that time I also started to paint with oil a little bit, and I really love it, but it was hard. And also like taking out all of the material, I was like, it was asking me something, and it was not easy, and it was like heavy, and I didn't have the knowledge for mixing painting together. So painting was not attracting me, painting on oil or acrylic. And when I started to do watercolor, I was like, oh, it's easy. I just need a little bit of water. The palette is there, so and I can develop my skill in painting with watercolor. And I, because of that, I started to be more comfortable with mixing the layers, be patient. So every day I was doing painting and watercolor, and it was like May until September. And my list started to grow in, I think, July. I started to do really like more, so I will share it with you, because I started to read The Artist's Way, the book, and it really helped me, and she had some interesting tips. So I was starting to build my day, to develop my skill, develop my mindset, um, develop my creativity, and being more comfortable with art. And also, I started to read stuff about artists. I find a class on Coursera, and they were talking about art, in the modern contemporary art and modern art, but also from the past, about different artists. So I started to learn about that. um, I started to look videos on that university. It's called like Kentucky University Drawing. That's a YouTube channel, and that teacher do all the technique about that. So yeah, and after I was like, you know what? I will watch an anatomy class every day. I will. So yeah, so I will tell my list. So it was like the morning page. I'm talking about that in the other video about the artist's way. So if you want to watch it, the morning page is like you write every day 3 pages when you wake up. And I was also like writing some half page of a story I have in my head. Also, after I was taking a walk, draw a pencil, and after I was like, I want to like use another technique. So I was doing the watercolor, and I was like, I want to discover pastel also. So I was like, that was that. And also digital drawing. I started to do digital drawing because I wanted to discover that. So I did video drawing class, graphic design class, Udemy on watercolor. um, so yeah, I started to do a lot of things. Also like reading book on symbolism and watch video on symbolism, because it's something I'm really interested. And you see my first videos, long video on the YouTube, it's about symbolism, and I was really into that, and I was like so interested by that, and so interested about the high symbolism in art, but also about also in movies. I really love to watch movie, and I was like, oh, I want to understand that. And also I was like, if I can learn that, I can put that in my art too. And I started to read book about alchemy and symbolism from the past, and the meaning, etymology book too. And every day I have my to-do list that I had to read a book about that I had to draw, I have to use a different medium, I had to paint. And I did that for until September, and I hit a wall at that time, because I started to be bored. I started to be bored. And what happened, I take a watercolor class, and it helped me. And I was like, ooh, and it was with a teacher. So it was my first class with a teacher. So every week I was going there. And I think maybe more earlier than September, maybe July or August. I'm confusing with time. So I started to do watercolor class, and it really helped. And I was like really exciting because it was like, oh, I'm not learning by myself. I'm learning with a teacher, and I felt I learned so much quick and so more faster. And also, he's a really good teacher. His name is Chivo, and it's cool because it was a class in Spanish. I was like, I can I can understand a watercolor class in Spanish. I was like, oh my god, that was also another check. I can't believe it until now. So yeah, so I did that watercolor class, and it really helped me. And also, um, it was like talking about other stuff like perspective, and because if you do landscape and everything, you need to understand perspective. So we have a class on that and everything. So it was really nice. And after I ate another wall, my other wall was like I started to be bored, but really bored about drawing, and I was like, oh. And also like doing watercolor, and the watercolor class after a certain point we start to miss some, and um, it was not regular. So I started to be bored too about the watercolor class and like not motivate. So my learning curve like was like that, and I feel it was going down. So it was a little bit suck. So and it's been there for like September, October, and I was like trying to really still continue to do um, the the challenge of like drawing every day, but some days I was missing it. But I was still like seeing how I was like getting better. I was taking a walk, and when I see something I love, I was just drawing it, or sitting and draw in a park, outside. Um, Also during the summer, one of my to-do lists was connect with artists. So what that make, it's like I went to um, class of not class, but a place when you can paint model. That was really cool. I went to place where a group of people just like find a beautiful spot in town and just paint there. So that was really fun too. With my mentor too, we just like go in some place and paint together. Um, what else? Yeah, so many cool things that I did. I had the chance to do an exhibition in the plaza every Sunday. I was able to put my painting because I get better with my painting. Oh my god, I did a dog. You can go see the short, and I think you can see the improvement with my painting. And maybe I will share my first painting in that video. I will put a photo. It's really interesting. But I'm proud. I don't know if I have my first painting. I have the second one. I was like, oh my god, I'm so good. I'll see I have the courage to put it on the video. um, so many stuff happens during the summer, and I also discover how to use not how to use it, but I started to use pastel, oil pastel, um, the other one I don't forget, soft pastel to um, no, oil pastel I already know. It's soft pastel I didn't know, and I discovered. So yeah, so I hit a wall at the end of the summer because I started to be bored, and I was like, it was hard to keep my list and keep my to-do list, and also like in this YouTube channel, I wanted like to talk about symbolism, but after a certain point, I was like, I'm kind of bored about that subject, and you go into a rabbit hole, and after you start to go to a weird dark place, and I was like, I'm tired of being like always looking for symbolism and being kind of like weird and sad and uncomfortable when watching movie, it was not fun anymore. So that place when I went with art, I was like, nah. So I start to stop doing my to-do list, and I was like, but I keep drawing. But someday I was missing it, but I'm proud that I keep doing it anyway, because I know it was important, even though I was so bored. I was like, ah. And recently, I discovered Milan Art. It's a YouTube channel that is really, really cool. Um, and yeah, so some stuff I discovered, I took some note. It's really recently, but it really helped. And it's funny because during the summer, I saw one of the video, and I watched it, but I couldn't. I didn't catch me. And my mentor, he we look at it again, and I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. So maybe I was not in the place to watch it during that time, and now I was ready, because what I realized and watching the video about it, so what they do a challenge of like 100. They were talking about the challenge of doing 100 painting in 3 days, and it's series they're doing with artists. But in the video they were talking about suggesting, when you don't have time, you can do 10 painting in 30 minutes. So you put a timer, and every 3 minutes you changing. And it's really about like, I don't know if I don't know, I will put a video, but it's really, when you say painting, it's really like abstracting. It's not, it's just to developing your skill to be more comfortable, more loose. um, and it's really like just doing whatever to discovering your voice and the way you will paint and your style, and being more comfortable with the stroke and everything. And for me, I was like, oh yeah, I can do 30 minutes, 10 painting in 30 minutes. But after I was like, but I have time. I was like, why I don't do the 30 painting per day, so you have 33 painting per day, so you have 100 painting. And I did it, and I was like, oh my god. And I discovered why I was like so bored. It's because I was not challenged again. Like doing one drawing per day was not challenge anymore. I need more. And that doing painting, more painting. And also, okay, I will look my note so I can tell you. So what I understand, it's like I had some blockage or some limit that I was not able to pass. And doing that 30 painting per day, I understand why I was blocked and why it was kind of boring. So the last month, when it started September, I couldn't develop my skill faster. So it was like I couldn't improve more, and I started to be boring. Um, and also I couldn't paint long hour. For example, I did a lot of painting, like I did a flamingo, I did a hummingbird, puppy, a fox, and it was like long hours. So I can do it. But my challenge with painting was like I was getting stressed and tense, and I started to think about stuff, and it was really not fun to be in. I had a state of mind that make me tense, and so that's why I was not painting a lot and long hour, and I stopped to paint and to develop my skills with acrylic and oil painting. So I was like, I didn't have fun. And doing that thing of 30 painting per day, the fact that I'm getting loose and I can do whatever I want, I wanted to do it perfectly, and being minutious. I don't know it's a word in English, but I wanted like to be precise when I was painting portrait or animal. but it was make me so much tense, like I was doing an exam. And being loose with that exercise of 3D painting make me more relaxed. Um, and also, my to-do list was boring too. I was not interested in what I had to do. And also, it's like I need to learn more or to go to another level. Yeah, like sometimes you get bored probably because you are in a plateau and it's just like you have to go to another level and you don't realize. So I had to go to another level and I discovered with that challenge, Milan Art. So that's really cool. So what that gave me that um, with the 3D painting, what happened is first I saw that after 1 hour I was like tired. 2 hour I could keep it, but the third hour I can't. So for me, I would still want to do it to be able to be more disciplined, but being able to do long hour with break, of course, and that is getting easy and easy. So I think I will do like 30 printing per day. That's my goal, but now I can do 20 printing per day. So every 6 minutes I change. Also, like with what they explain is only with painting in that video, but for me, I find that I want to develop my skill in drawing, in anatomy, in painting, in different medium too. So what I did, it's like the first hour I'm doing abstract, the second hour I do portrait, the third hour I see what I want to do. So I'm like being um, flexible so I can keep going, because sometimes I feel like if you just like keep to do only one thing, it's harder. But if you like, you're getting flexible, and my goal is to be better and develop my skills. So I started painting about a portrait, and it's really cool because before the challenge I kind of feel stuck, and I don't know, but something was off, and I did the challenge, like the 3D painting per day, for a few days, and now um, I and also I look a video about stroke, like how you have to do different stroke with your hand, longer, shorter, um, and it's really cool because now I'm looking at that painting and I'm like, oh, I really don't like it, but I will change the background. I want to do more stroke. I want to do more abstract. I want to do being more comfortable and put what I learned. So it's really cool with that. For that, I'm really excited. Let me see if other stuff that I discover. Oh yeah, I want to share with you some book I'm reading right now because I love books, and it's also with Milan Art Channel. So right now I'm really influenced by them. um, Story worthy. I don't put the name of the author, but the book is story worthy. So it's about storytelling. Show Your Work. Another book, The War of Heart. That's about resistance and procrastination. Big Magic is the author of the book Eat, Pray, Love. And I just discovered that other book that they were talking about, ultra learning. So I will put the info in the description. Um, so that's a book I'm reading right now, and what I do, because I love reading, but sometimes it's really hard to read when it's not like a novel. So every day I said to myself, like, I will read 15 minutes of the books. And for me, I always read a lot of books at the same time, so it's not a problem. So yeah, so every day I have that to do, to change my mindset, and also not just change my mindset, but discovering other stuff. And I finished the book Still Your Work. It's so good. It's so good. Mm, and yeah, so what I discovered also, it's like having a limited palette with painting, the stroke, and doing more abstract and being more loose. So with that 30 painting per day, that really helped me. And I feel like I will be able to do longer hours painting, because I'm practicing that without a goal, just being a child and doing that, you know? And also, like, about like painting and you feel stressed, like you are doing homework or exam, it's not there. Well, I have to test it again, but the time I was doing the painting, it's not there anymore. And also, I paint again the portrait, and it wasn't, when I was painting it, it was more fluid, more easy. The stroke was more, I was more comfortable, and I was blending more comfortably. I was putting painting more comfortably, the way I was pushing the painting. Yeah, so that YouTube channel is really interesting. Over time, I will put like different like um, um, channel I discover and everything. But yeah, that channel is really cool, and their workshop you can see in the live section. It's really interesting too. Mm, yeah, so that's that. That's the last year. What happened for me with art and developing my creativity, and also discovering that I am creative. I have the skill. Well, not the skill, but I can develop my skill. I have sort of talent, but I need to develop it more, by developing my skills. Um, Discovering so much medium. I'm so lucky about that. And just having fun, and also like the end of the year, just being more loose, being more comfortable. It's really a beautiful gift, and I can't wait for the next year. So yeah, I will share. You will discover this video soon about different stuff that I'm discovering, other challenge I'm discovering, um, my exploration in art and everything. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Let me know in the comment, and talk to you soon. Ciao.